This arcade has the world's oldest games, from skeeball to pinball and other weird stuff. These games are nothing like you've seen before. Ranging from the 50s to now, there's a game for everyone in here. So, my mission is to look around and try to find the most unique arcade games they have. Let's take a look. I might as well start with this one. This game called Knockout is the oldest one in this place, and it's just a standard pinball game. For this next one, we have a little bit more of an advanced game. This is from 1955, and basically it's just regular baseball. So the ball comes out, you hit it with the bat, and then you have all the areas that you can hit it in. But the coolest part is this thing in the back where it gives you a visual of what's going on. I really like this part of the game. If this was made nowadays, it would just be a computer screen right there. This one looked interesting. It's called Ninja Gun. It's from 1972. You just have this gun right here and you try to shoot the ninjas in there. I really like the look of this. Now, if you want to talk about old, Pong is one of the oldest games that you can get. You're basically these two lines and you just hit the ball back and forth. It's as simple as it gets, but it doesn't mean it's any less fun. This arcade cabinet came out in 1972. I like the look of this one, so I wanted to put it in here. It's called Battle Zone from 1980. Basically, you have the controllers right here and you put your face in to actually play the game. It's supposed to resemble you actually being inside of the game itself. Kind of like VR before VR was a thing. Here's a very unique one. We have bowling. I've seen a lot of new ones, but let's see how the older ones did it. This is your bowling ball right here. Not really much of a ball, but I guess it does the trick. You just slide it down and it hits them up. I gotta say, I like the turnaround on this one too. You can just keep throwing it down back and forth. There's no wait time on this game. Just back and forth. Since we're on the topic of bowling, I might as well throw in this bowling pinball. And it's basically just your average pinball, but bowling themed. This is from 1995. Here we have another shooting game. It's called Sharpshooter from 1971. Basically the same idea. You have this gun, which you gotta love. Back in the day, they didn't paint it orange or any other color. And you have to shoot the clowns in there. I really do like the neon colors though. It makes everything stand out. Here you have a really old basketball game. It looks similar to those ones where it's the ice hockey players, but now you have this version with basketball. The ball goes in a number and then you select it there to try to get it in the net. And this will get intense if you're playing with another person because you want to try to find the number before they do, so you have a better chance of getting it in the net. Now every month they pick a random game, and if you get the highest score by the end of that month, you get a free pass to go for the entire day for free. Basically what I'm saying is, Matt, get that high score. But the high scores are crazy high. Like, you may not think 200,000 is a lot, but for a pinball game like this, that is. Half the time in these older pinball games, the ball will just go right through and you lose. I like how in the older games too, the numbers slam down. It's just so satisfying to see it. Here's a pretty weird one. It's just called Crane, and it's from 1956. Looks like you get this crane and you pick up dirt. So the goal is to try to put as much dirt in there as possible. That's gonna get you up there if you get it in. All right. Like when I say this place has unique games, I'm talking about games like this. You would never see this now. And in 1956, this would have only cost you 10 cents. Here's the craziest arcade machine. Looks like some cyborg crazy thing, but it's actually them just repairing it. But if you ever wanted to see the inside of one, there you go. This one's one of my favorites because I just find it so weird, but it's actually a pretty fun game. Basically, you're this guy and you just go golfing. You gotta get each ball in the hole just like regular golf. But for some reason, it's just fun to line the guy up and try to get it in. Matt's actually doing pretty good, but right when I said that, he's awful. Now, if you really wanted to play golf, you could literally just go right there across the sidewalk. But if you don't want to go outside, here's your alternative right here. Would you look at this? Over here, they have a couple pictures of famous people that came here, I guess. But the one I wanted to point out was Danny DeVito. There he is. Danny DeVito himself was here. I like how they put new and old ones right next to each other so you can see the progression of pinballs over time. Like you have this one from 1975 that's a lot simpler. It just is what it is. And then right next to it, you have Whitewater from 1993. And it's just this insane thing with so much stuff going on. Now, I have to show some love for Tetris. This was a go-to game in school. When you were bored, you would just put this on the computer and play it up. It's one of the most simple games, but it's so fun. This has to be one of the weirdest shooting games I've ever seen. It's called Space Glider from 1959. And basically, you have to shoot the balls in there and try to get 3 in a row. And they just bounce all around. I don't even know who thought of this, but it's very unique. Now, when you're talking about classic sports games, this is probably one of the most popular. It's just ice hockey, and you move the guys around on these poles. Now, these arcade machines are very interesting because they have games like Super Mario Brothers that didn't originally come out in an arcade machine. They were originally released on the NES, but it became so popular that they put them in arcade cabinets so people can play them in stores. Now you can play it at the arcade. Now, I don't really think this one's that old, but I wanted to throw it in here. You have classic air hockey. This is one of my all-time favorite arcade games. You can just go crazy. Now, right when you thought you saw every pinball, here's two-player pinball. I never even heard of this. I guess you both play and you see whoever has the highest points at the end. And at the top there, the balls can go through, so you can either help or mess up the other player. This is a really unique one. I like this. And apparently, according to this sign, it's a rare game from 1983. I do appreciate that this place includes the signs, so just in case if you wanted to read up about a certain game, you can. I don't know if I mentioned this, but this place actually is half arcade, half museum. So when you come in here, you can play the game, but you can also get information from each one. Here's more evidence that this is also a museum. Right above all these pinballs is actually the history of pinball. So if you really wanted to go through the whole timeline, they have it right here. I mean, it makes sense. All the pinballs are here, so you might as well know the history of it. Now, what's an arcade without having basketball? These don't look crazy old, but you just have to have these in an arcade. I honestly just want to film this one because I like the look of it. It's just a bunch of weird stuff in this horror theme called Scared Stiff from 1996. We have another game similar to the hockey and basketball one, but this is based off of soccer. You have the soccer players and you move back and forth. That's actually great. Look at them slide around. Oh, you got to get them all to one side and then have them all just slide. Looks like a glitch or something. Here we have another shooting game. This one's called Twin Rifle from 1971. And I gotta say, the insides of these are so cool. It's just all neon in like a forest or something. All the shooting games are pretty simple. You just gotta shoot the animals that come up in here. Now with all these old games, we might as well also play the newest one in here, and that would be The Godfather from 2023. It's just another pinball, but it was made last year. And of course, they got the screen. Not that I'm saying anything's wrong with that, but that's just how they make them nowadays. Now, how was I not gonna show this? You have Hercules, which is apparently the world's largest pinball machine, and it definitely looks like it. Look at that ball. You got Sylvester Stallone pinball. This is from the movie Demolition Man, which is a very interesting movie, and this was made in 1994, pretty much around the time when the movie came out. These are the triggers. It's not just a regular button, you got these things. And this Indiana Jones game has the same type of thing, but instead this gun is to launch the ball itself. It's always funny when they have unique ways of doing the same thing. I'm not really gonna play this one because it's just another pinball, but it's called Rockstar, and apparently it's a rare game, so might as well throw it in here. And here's a couple more rare ones. If you're interested, ever wanted to see these, here they are now. But now I saved my favorite for last, and that would be skee-ball. I don't know what it is, but these skee-balls are my favorite. Something about the older style just adds so much to it. I mean, it's basically just like normal skee-ball. You throw the ball down and you try to get points, but something about the numbers just slamming down and the fast turnaround makes this just really fun to play. Now talk about a fast turnaround. Matt's got a new strategy. You just go as quick as you can. Don't stop, dude. You're doing so good. Yeah, you're definitely getting all 50s. All 50s. Matt doesn't stop. He's on the skee-ball grind. That's it for the arcade. I enjoyed looking around. Make sure to subscribe, and I am now selling merch. Click the link in the description to get yours today.